Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 71 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films up for awards recognition this season. Now, some of the films I'm talking about may still be in theaters or may be awaiting a theatrical re-release. All the statistical information I am providing to you is current within 7 days of recording and posting. Now, this includes box office information, critical response, predictions, nominations, wins, and as always, these reviews are spoiler-free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for lots of great additional content, including the Where Can I Watch It spreadsheet 2024 edition, where you can track the nominations and wins for all the films I'm talking about here, and so many others. So, if you are joining me on posting and screening day, it is another Tuesday. So what does that mean? Well, this season, Tuesdays is new theme week, and we are officially in our 11th theme week today. And this is a fun one because, we're going to take a little mini break from the major awards flicks and take a look at what some have deemed the worst films of the year. And we look at those that are nominated for the Golden Raspberry Awards, or more affectionately known, the Razzies. Yes, the next 7 films that I'm talking about this week are nominated for at least one Razzie and possibly others elsewhere. So, of the 14 films nominated for Razzies, I am starting with the most nominated film, the appropriately titled joke of a film, Warner Brother Pictures' Joker 2, Folie et Deux. Released in the fall of 2024, the film was co-written by Scott Silver and the film's director Todd Phillips. Financially, the film mostly broke even, making $58,300,287 domestically and $149,200,000 internationally, for a worldwide total of $207,500,287 against a reported roughly $190 to $200 million budget. It's really barely breaking even. And now this is quite a drop when you look at the first film from 5 years ago, which was not Razzie nominated, but 11-time Oscar nominated with 2 wins. And that film topped the 2019 box office with a total of $1,078,958,629. Also, comparatively, the first film, which had a critical rating of 68% and a popcorn meter of 88%, now shows this sequel with both the critics and the audiences in 100% alignment. Yes, for the first time this season, both are the same. Joker Folie et Deux has a 31% rating on both sides, critically from 362 reviews and over 5,000 audience reviews. The film is nominated for 7 Razzie Awards: Worst Picture, Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel, Worst Director for Phillips, Worst Actor for Joaquin Phoenix, Worst Actress for Lady Gaga, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Screen Combo for Phoenix and Gaga. Although worth noting, Joker Folie à Deux was shortlisted for 1 Oscar, failing to land the nod for Best Sound, and the costume designer Eduardo Lucero is nominated for Excellence in Costume Illustration by the Costume Designers Guild. Ironically, the film won the Most Anticipated Movie of the Year by the Astra Midseason Movie Awards, but failed to live up to the hype. Also worth mentioning, Hildur Guðnadóttir, who won her first Oscar for Best Score for Joker, won the Best Soundtrack Award for this film, the sequel, at the Venice Film Festival, where, shockingly, Phillips was also nominated for Best Film. So let's get into it. Picking up 2 years after the events of Joker, where Joaquin Phoenix's Arthur Fleck murdered TV host Murray Franklin live on television, he is now awaiting trial in Arkham State Hospital. His lawyer, Marianne Stewart, played by Catherine Keener, is helping to build an insanity defense to get Arthur's charges reduced, but this will not be as easy as she plans. One day, having demonstrated a placid demeanor, Arthur is allowed to take a music therapy class where he meets Lee Quinzel, played by Lady Gaga, who claims she is imprisoned for burning down her parents' home after years of abuse by her father. She tells Arthur that she fell for him watching, him commit his crimes, and she fell in love with Joker, and she convinces him she is the perfect partner for him. Their relationship grows as Arthur prepares to go to trial. She helps reinforce to him that he is Joker and needs to be who he is. However, these intentions may not be as clear as they seem to be. And then when Arthur goes on trial and several characters from the first film return to offer evidence kind of on both sides, then ultimately Arthur will end up continuing to have this crisis of identity. Does he want to be Arthur? Does he want to be Joker? He loves Lee and recognizes that she is in love with Joker. Ultimately, as the trial goes on, Joker rears himself more and more to ultimately seeing Arthur take on the Joker persona, fire Marianne, and attempt to defend himself, all while Lee cheers him on from the sidelines. However, this may not be as lasting as we would like to see. And as we go, we will, will we get that ultimate Joker Harley, or Jokey, Harler, nah, Jokey, a relationship we all know and love? Will Arthur's mental illness win out and make him see that he is not, in fact, the Joker? Here's the thing. This film is really frustrating. So, for those who saw my year end review, I said that while I was personally excited to see how Lady Gaga, what she would do with Harley Quinn, I, it wasn't what we got. I wasn't expecting a comic book interpretation. I knew they were going in a different direction, but, the direction that her character takes is a little bit off putting. And, this was one of my biggest issues with the film. And, you know, she's underused in the film, and maybe that's for the betterment. It's hard to say. She's supposed to have this great impact on Fleck, but it's kind of glanced over. And when we move into some of the elements of the third act, there's a shift that doesn't fully feel earned. Phoenix is fine as Joker. He has, mastered this role. I don't think that the worst actor nomination is necessary. I mean, people didn't like the film. It wasn't they didn't like him. He's fine. My biggest issue, again, it really comes down to the screenplay here. The film is a slightly long drudge of a legal film. Yeah, and legal thrillers can work. Look at most John Grisham adaptations, or the excellent example, Primal Fear. But the stakes here aren't clear, and the end game isn't as precise. We get treated to these information dumps here and there that don't fully translate. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the musical numbers, and they're disappointing. I never had a problem with the fact that this film was going to be a musical, but the numbers don't really seem to serve their purpose. Whether they were to attempt to underline the mental illness that both of these characters face or to provide moments of levity. I understand that they were trying to look at mental illness, and, we do have these two protagonists, although, I mean, Lee is kind of more of an antagonist. They have problems, and it shouldn't be skirted over. Mental illness is a serious thing. But as we dissect this film and watch these two characters go, those issues are kind of sidelined for a bizarre trial film. That's really all I can say. And it's unfortunate, and I've referenced this as well. There have been articles that have said Phillips and Phoenix pretty much, told the audience that loved the first one, well, you know what? Screw off. And unfortunately, tragically, they killed what could have been a great metaverse story addressing both mental illness and the ramifications, and also giving us new visions of these two beloved characters. For me, Joker Folie à Deux, while not a completely awful film, it's really a two-star film for me. It's not so bad to go to one. It's two. It's just a meh. Was it the worst film of the year? No. I'm going to get to what I thought was one of the lesser films. I don't love worst films ever. We'll get there later this week. Um, I think it was a missed opportunity. But make your own decision. If you haven't seen Joker Folie à Deux yet, it is currently streaming on Max. So there you have it. 71 down, 26 to go. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that subscribe button, like the review, like the video, spread the word, let people know. I've seen we've had a lot of new subscribers come on board, so welcome. I hope you're going to enjoy taking the rest of this award season journey with me. You can also follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. Find lots of great information on my website, cinephilemike.com, and be well informed as we start to wrap the season. All right, everyone. See y'all tomorrow. And until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.